work with them. So yeah, we kind of can support in a number of different ways. So if you ever have any questions, by all means, please do just get in contact with us. I'll show you how to on the app in a minute, but there is the option to sort of call through to our assistance centre, which is available 24/7. So any questions, day or night, do feel free to just reach out to us and we'll do our best to help you with those. So what I'll do now is I will share my screen so that you can all see what the app looks like, and then we can sort of take it from there, and I will show you all the different functions and how that all works. So you should be able to see the screen there. You'll see in the background there is the desktop view, and then in the foreground you'll have the app view. So the app view is mainly what you'll all be looking at. You can use the desktop, but for operatives, you don't really find that you need it very much. So it is mainly just the application that you will be using. So as you can see, when you first log into the app, it will be populated with some intelligence alerts, and you'll also be able to see your own location there as well on the marker. So again, only you will be able to see this on your app. So in the top right-hand corner here as well, you'll see this is just the sync button. So if you want to update the app, or if you go on the alerts, for example, you'll see that on the desktop, it's already automatically updated with this new alert. So on the phone device, you can just resync. And you'll be able to view the alerts on there as well. So if you make any amendments on the app or change any of your settings, it should automatically sync the app. But if you do need to force a sync, it's just using that top corner there. This little symbol here in the top right is a bit difficult to see because it's white, but if you select that, that will just take you to where your location is on the map as well. So you can sort of see all of that on there. What I'll do is I'll take you through the main key functions along the bottom here, and then I'll go into a bit more depth into how you can set the app up to view what you want to view and set up sort of the push notifications as well. So starting with the main core functionality along the bottom here, the first one we have is the check-in. So selecting check-in will pinpoint your location on the map. So as you can see your location on the application there, but it's also updated on the desktop. So for the administrators and for our 24/7 response team, we will be able to see your check-in on the system. Now, as I say, this is just a pinpoint of your location. So if you were to then move away, we wouldn't know where you have gone. We're not actively tracking you at this point. So it is just a snapshot of where your last known location was. We do recommend that you do check-ins throughout your time, away or in your location, because if we do come across an incident nearby, we will contact you to see if you're okay. So the check-in just allows us to have an updated idea of where your last known location is without the need for active tracking. So for example, if you've gone to a work meeting, you obviously don't need to track all 8 hours in the same building, but you perhaps will check in when you arrive and then perhaps check in when you get back to your hotel. So, but feel free to use it as much as you like, or, it is up to user discretion how you choose to use that. The second call button we have here is call for assistance. So if you have any issues, perhaps a non-emergency, and you want to just ring through to our 24/7 team, you can do this through that call assistance button. So you can choose to just call, which will provide you with the number to our 24/7 team. Or you also have the option to call with location. This just provides a check-in prior to the call going through. So we know your location when you phone. So it might be that you're traveling somewhere late at night, or you need directions, or you just simply want to call through to us for assistance, but you would like us to know your location as well. You have the option to do that. I will come back to alerts in a minute, and I'll just continue along to the next one along here, which is tracking. So tracking is active tracking. So you have the option to choose if you would like to track by distance or track by time. And you do have the option to change the intervals of how often the location updates as well. So again, purely up to your discretion how you want to set that up. If you are traveling in a fast moving vehicle, you're going to want to do it by distance rather than by time. So you can choose to do that. Obviously, if you do have a tracking session on pinging every minute and it's going on for several hours, it can affect your battery life. So, you know, do take into consideration when you want to track and how often. You know, we do recommend things such as if you're traveling between locations, that's always a better time to do tracking. But again, it is up to you when you want to share that. So, for example, I'll start a tracking session here. So once you start a tracking session, it will start at as you can see on the app there, it will start the live tracking session. And as you can see on the desktop, that has also been initiated here. So the live updates are also coming through on the desktop. So again, the 24/7 team and the administrators will be able to see that tracking session. If you take that down, it will come up with a banner at the top just to let you know that that is still active. And if you were to come out of the app entirely, it will send you a reminder at the top there in the blue bar to say that it is still tracking your location. So you'll always know if you are still tracking. So if you decide that you want to finish your tracking, you can either select the blue band at the top, or you can just select the tracking button again, and it will bring you back up to this page, where you can then stop your tracking session. So yeah, just coming back to the app then. So after tracking, we then have the SOS button. So this is probably one of the most important ones. So if you do have any concerns, there is an emergency, whatever it may be, and you want to contact our 24/7 team immediately, you can press this SOS button here. So selecting SOS will start a 15-second countdown. If you've clicked this by accident, it's not a problem at all. You can simply press cancel. That will not send any notifications to anyone to say that you've clicked it, so do not worry at all. Or you can select SOS, and if you want to just leave it to run through the countdown, it will do so and start the SOS, or you do have the option to SOS now. Selecting SOS now will start a SOS tracking session, and it will raise the emergency SOS. So as you can see, the desktop is updated. So our 24/7 response team has then been notified that an SOS has occurred, and it has started a tracking session as well. So as you can see, the tracking session, it will say there that it's active. And then in the office, we have alarms going off, we have lights flashing, and as you can see, they are now calling me because they just want to check that I'm safe. So I will just quickly respond. Hello?
Hi, Libby. It's Callum calling from Solace Global. Just calling to check you're okay.
Yeah, everything's okay. Thank you very much, Callum.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
So as you can see, they phoned me just to check that everything's all okay. I can see that a few of you have also started SOSing, so they will start calling you to check that you are safe. Do please answer their calls and just confirm with them that everything's okay. So once you have started a SOS session, like I say, it will start tracking your location. Once you have finished the SOS and you've deemed that you're okay and you've spoken to our team, you can just simply go onto the SOS tracking and you'll be able to stop the tracking session. Again, once that tracking session has stopped, we do not know where you are. You know, we're not constantly tracking you 24/7. It is only when you have initiated it for us to track team. So moving now on to some of the sort of intelligence side of things. So as you can see in the middle here, we have alerts. So again, these are near real-time alerts. So these are incidents that are occurring globally. So if you select one of the alerts, it will show you where it is on the map. As you can see, all alerts are color-coded and risk-rated, and it will then provide you with a detail of what the incident is. It will then provide you with advice from us on how to handle the situation. It will also provide you with our contact details and how far away it is from your location as well. So you can go through the intelligence alerts and have a look at those. And as I say, they will come through as well. So what you can do is you can then set up to receive these alerts via push notification and or email notification. So coming out of here, if you were to go to the main menu and click menu, you'll see here it says notifications. Selecting notifications, you can enable whether or not you want to receive them as push notifications via email. and also any filters you want to apply. So you could choose to just receive alerts based on certain filters or certain risk levels, such as high and severe, or you could do it via notification radius, or you can do it just by country. So you can filter it to receive sort of what you would prefer. So it's entirely up to the user preference on how you would like that set up. There is one thing to know, and that's for administrators, they can do some mandatory email alerts. So I'm not sure if Javaria or any of the other admins have set any of those up yet, but it's just to note that you may still receive email alerts and they will say this incident has occurred, but it will say at the bottom you are receiving these because it has been set by your administrator. So you may still receive some alerts that you haven't chosen to receive, but that will be because your administrators have put those in place for you. So coming back to the main menu, we also then have countries. So selecting countries will bring up the list of all countries available. And from here, you can select one of these and it will bring up a country report. So initially, it will just give you a detailed breakdown of some risk ratings and categories. So for example, civil unrest, transport, crime, environmental. You'll then have some country details, and these are sort of key country details that you may need to know, as well as an app and the emergency contact details in country. If you did need to call emergency services in country, you can actually do this through the app as well. So by selecting one of those, it will bring up the number for you to call through. You then can select country report at the end, and this will bring up the country report for you there, which provides you in detail all the risk levels, and we'll go into more depth on each of the different categories. So coming back to the main menu, we then also have itinerary. So as I mentioned earlier, operatives will only ever see their own itineraries in there. So if you did have any travel bookings, currently because of the trial, we're not taking a feed from a travel management company. But if you did want to input a hotel booking or a flight booking or anything like that, selecting the plus in the top right hand corner, it will allow you to do this. So you can select add me, and then next, and then add travel. And then it's a really intuitive, simple way to do it. So you just put in your departure location, arrival location, the times, and then it will ask you for the reference numbers if you want to include those, and then you'll just press save and that will go into the system. So it's a really easy way to put in your itinerary if it has been done outside of the travel management company. And if anyone wants to put in fake itineraries in there for the duration of the trial, do feel free to do that as well. So the kind of final bits to touch on then in the app is, so we have settings. So the settings is what you're seeing on the map. So you can choose to cluster the intelligence alerts. For most of you as operatives, you probably won't need to do that too much because you're not going to have a huge amount of alerts on there. But then you can also choose the different overlay types. So you can choose to put an overlay on like we have here on the desktop. And then you also can change the map settings as well. You can also choose what alerts you're seeing on the map as well. So you could choose to only see all crime alerts, for example, by filtering that on, or you can have everything selected. Likewise, you could just filter it by country as well. So it's important to remember the map settings is what you're going to see on the app. The push notification settings is what you're going to receive. If for whatever reason you aren't seeing what you think you should be seeing, or you're not receiving what you think you should be receiving, do check your settings. And then if you have any other questions, like I say, do let us know, because sometimes people can say, oh, I can't quite see this. And it could just be something as simple as the settings not being quite right. But it is pretty easy to set up. So do just have a play around and see, how else you can set it up. The next one along then is support. So if you do have any questions and you do require any app support from us, you can select this and it will give you the option to send us a support email. You'll also then have access to user guides and a video webinar similar to this. So if you do need any further sort of information, or you can't quite remember how something works, do feel free to take a look at those. And if you have got any issues as well, you can send a report through. But if you do have any issues with the app, you can send through this support email. That is monitored 24/7. Depending on the issue with the support, we'll obviously aim to resolve that for you as soon as possible. But if you do have any issues, like I say, feel free to send the email through to that, or just to contact us directly, and we'll look into that for you. Now, I know that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour. The only kind of last thing to touch on is the menus here. I wouldn't worry too much about this at this stage. News and reports is simply just our latest intelligence reports that you can access. So there is some just good reports on there. And likewise, the notification settings. Documents is where your administrators can upload documents for you all to view. And contacts is also where administrators can set up any key contacts they want you to have access to. But for the sake of the trial, it's not something you need to worry about too much. The main thing really is just those key items of functionality along the bottom there. As I mentioned a minute ago, I know a few of you have done some SOSs on the system. Do feel free throughout the trial to do those, whether they're real situations or not. You know, our team treat everything like it's a real incident. So they will always phone you back and handle the situation. So by all means, do feel free to use the functionality as much as you like. You know, that's what we're here for, and that's what the system's there for as well. So I know that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but like I say, the system is very easy to use. It's very user-friendly. So I do hope that you will get on with it quite well.